The 20th Annual Junction City Area Chamber of Commerce Christmas Parade is brought to you in part by Screen Machine Sports, Munson's Prime, Manhattan Christian College, Feldkamp's Junction City, Hampton Inn, Dick Edwards Auto Plaza, Danker Roofing, Coriel Insurers, City Cycle Sales, Central National Bank.
We're going to get the director of the Geary County Convention and Visitors Bureau, Connie Hall, on here for just a short time. The parade is getting near, coming down 6th Street. And Connie, we just want a couple of comments from you, what this Junction City Christmas Parade is all about and kind of what it means to you. We'll let you get the headphones on there. And Connie, tell us kind of what this does from a tourism standpoint for Junction City.
This is just an awesome event. You know, the Christmas parade, getting into the season, into the shopping season. There's a lot of people on the streets, new with the Christmas market over here. It means a lot to the community, and there's a lot of people out.
You having a good time?
I am. Always do at Christmas.
What are you looking forward to the most as the parade now starts to arrive with the law enforcement vehicles leading the way?
Well, you know, the decorations. People really go out during the Christmas parade to do a lot with their floats, and we're hearing that there's some really good examples this year, and people have gone out and done a lot more than they have in the past.
They had an extra week.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Can this be grown a little bit, do you think?
You know, it can. Unfortunately, we had to delay it a week, you know, which did pull some of the floats out, but you know, in the whole process, I think it can grow and will grow, especially with the additions down here.
All right, good luck. Enjoy the parade
All right,
tonight.
thanks, Dewey.
All right, law enforcement vehicles are coming, and Kevin Griffith will take his seat. The Geary County Sheriff's Department is just now arriving on the scene downtown. They're followed by Fire Department. Junction City Police, of course, will be in this.
I had to go all the way out to Missouri to pick it up. It's going to it matches the same paint scheme as the new fire trucks, and here's our new ladder truck. Took possession of that last year. In all, the fire department has replaced one ambulance, the ladder truck, and one pumper, and they have another pumper truck on the way.
That allows them to reach any height in Junction City to battle a fire. Now here's our top parade entry leading the way, the Commanding General's Mounted Color Guard from Fort Riley. They have the horses with the American flag, the Kansas flag in front, the float with the big red 1 emblem on the side. 2 soldiers dressed in Civil War era uniforms, pulled by horses, pulling the float, the cart. Pretty impressive entry.
The Commanding General's Mounted Color Guard is always one of my favorites, especially any ceremony that they're at out at Fort Riley. They do a great job, and especially on the ones where they do the cavalry charge across the parade field. That's something fun to watch.
Kevin, I'll let you get a few pictures, if you will, and we'll be putting those pictures on JC Post as we do follow-up coverage, and Woodlap will post as well. You'll be able to watch that as the 1st Infantry Division Band now nears the viewing area downtown. Very, very prominent band. They perform regularly at functions not only in Kansas, but they've gone to Washington, D.C. They've even been a part in their past history of presidential inaugurations, and they're in high demand. They'll be doing concerts, we can tell you, December 15 and 16, free concerts, and that will be at the C.L. Hoover Opera House, so that's all to come, again, with the 1st Infantry Division Band. Do want to tell you the VFW is now coming by. The next entry, we have the awards being announced. We can tell you the Mayor's Award goes to the Hampton Inn, the top Mayor's Award for this parade this year. The Chamber of Commerce Award to Town and Country. Knee High Daycare wins the Founders Award, and the Girl Scout Service Unit 706 the Youth Award for this year's parade, and those are being passed on to us by Mark Ediger. Getting some of the other folks coming down, a very nice Corvette is working its way down the street. Mayor Mick Mcallister is a part of that entry. The Veterans of Foreign Wars just went by a few minutes ago. Now we're seeing the Girl Scout Service, Unit 706. They won the Youth Award, and they're leading the way. They've got a very nice pickup, pulling a trailer with candy canes and a lot of kids riding. They've done a lot to decorate this up. Of course, the red, white, and blue Christmas lights, some green lights, and they are the winner of the Youth Award this year. Again, that is the Girl Scout Service, Unit 706, and they're coming fast and furious now, Kevin.
They sure are. We got a lot of kids out here. It's amazing to see.
Humboldt Creek 4-H Club is going by, pulled by a pickup. You've got a ton of kids on a trailer. We've seen 2 in a row of those, and they're being followed very closely. But it looks like the Junction City High School cheerleaders are leading the way. As is often the case, the parade's a little bit out of order, but that's who we're watching as they now come by us.
Of course, the cheerleaders led by Alicia Goheen.
The Junction City High School J-Steppers will be next, and then we'll get the Junction City High School marching band. So the bands are up front early in the parade this year.
It's probably a good idea. Get them up there. Let them finish first, because walking all that way, holding some cold instruments, probably easy to get rid of.
This is an award-winning band capturing 1 ratings at the Central States Music Festival in Manhattan at Kansas State University and the High Plains Festival at Fort Hays State University. Your Junction City High School marching band.
There's the J-Steppers following up the band. You know, it's something cool about the band, too. I'm sure you noticed as well. They decorated some of the instruments and lights and string and everything as well.
All right, more kids, a vehicle pulling a Christmas tree, another float with many children, another 4-H entry coming by our viewing location. We're right by the area in Heritage Park where all the lights are located in the Santa House. Santa Claus will be arriving here in a short time. At the conclusion of this parade, they tell us the parade has about 45 entries this year, down just a little bit because of last week's ice storm, but it looks like the majority is still showing up tonight.
That's always a good sign. You always wonder about that after you have to cancel events and postpone it, whether or not someone will be back. But 45 entries out of the 50-plus from last week, it's great.
Got a little break in the parade here. Tell us about the crowd. It looks huge to me right here in the downtown area.
You know, the crowd in spots is probably about 6-7 people deep. It's a great right here in Heritage Park, and it looked like it continued all the way down 6th Street. I could see as far down as looks like the McDonald's, but a good crowd out here, and it's amazing. People came out and braved the weather.
Kids are enjoying this, aren't they?
They sure are. The kids are walking out onto the street. I think they're going to narrow the street even more if somebody doesn't get them back, as they're out there, and of course they're hoping for some prizes, maybe some candy thrown out.
All right, our next entry coming, a trailer with Christmas sliding, walking behind it, one of those walking mascots that you'll see at a college football game a lot of the time.
The Exchange Bank, this has this float. Looks like we got a fireplace scene. Some kids, of course, enjoying the parade as well on the float.
A lot of thought went into that, didn't it?
They sure did.
Did you ever do a parade when you were a kid?
The only parade I did was probably our high school homecoming parade, and all I had to do was sit on a trailer in my football jersey.
You were very good at that, though, weren't you?
I was.
You were a football star.
Well, sort of.
More entries are working their way down the street here. We're on 6th Street, just directly across from the Bartell House, waiting on Tidell Painting to approach us next. Flint Hills Harley Owners Group is in the mix tonight. The Clarks Creek 4-H Club, Town and Country Mowing, we mentioned them as one of the award winners, and Valley View Senior Life. So a lot of folks making their way past us.
Tidal Painting coming up. They've got a nice vehicle, but in the grill it says Wish. They did that out in Christmas lights, it looks like.
Series of pickups, Trailblazers, etc. Pulling floats are coming by us now, bringing kids with them. Some of them very well decorated, and the Christmas lights, our next entry, is really good. This is the Chamber Award winner working its way by us. Got 2 kids. Looks like 1 person, adult supervised, and they got a little house and everything. That's quite an impressive display.
I bet that took some time to put together.
Valley View Senior Life is coming along. It's good for those folks to get out and have a chance to enjoy the parade.
They get to see everybody, and it's always good for them to be seen as well.
A few individual marchers. They have Christmas lights wrapped all around them. They're coming by our viewing area downtown, and we get a little gap in the parade every now and then, but I think they're catching up now. This is Valley View. They had 2 vehicles entered in the parade. Minivan following their main bus, where they transport the seniors throughout our community.
It's important they get out and they get to go to the senior building and other activities, do some shopping every now and then. They have all sorts of activities planned for them.
Folks are decorating their floats really, really well this year. Here comes one all themed in white lighting with a little green and red trim, but very impressive as they come by us here at our viewing area.
I think that one has more lights on it than my house does at the moment.
Okay.
I need to up my Christmas lights, I guess.
It's another 4-H group coming by. Homemade Christmas is their theme, and that is the theme this year for the parade.
They put a lot of time and effort into that. It's exciting to see.
Getting looks like a huge truck here working its way down 6th Street.
The Geary County Children's Choir.
They are very, very prominent. They perform at a lot of locations, even out of state once in a while.
Yes.
Someone sitting in a white rocking chair on the back of the truck. It's not a semi, but a type truck of that sort.
Looks
with
like
a flatbed.
Mrs. Claus up there. She's got the rolling pin out. I'd be careful.
A lot of folks dressed in red on that float as they come sailing by.
Of course, everybody out handing out candy as well. You know, being a kid at the end of the parade, either you don't get candy because they passed it all out before, or you get a lot of candy because they don't want to go home with any.
Yeah, they can't throw it anymore. You have to pass it out now as you come down the parade route. Looks like we've got another Junction City entries and marchers with the American flag coming
like
down 6th Street. That's Boy Scouts.
Boy Scout Troop 41 and Pack 41 Cub Scouts. All the Cub Scouts sitting on the back of this float.
Try to keep up with the entries as they come by. Here's another one, kind of got a tunnel they're setting in with Christmas lights adorning both sides and over the top. More Boy Scout entries is what we're looking at right now.
I was in Boy Scouts for a little short period of time.
I was until we did the 10-mile hike, and then I wasn't.
Well, that's understandable.
Seen some pretty neat cars, open convertibles that have been lit up coming by us. These are the Shriners, the Isis Temple, and they're a staple in our parades here in the Junction City community.
They got the lights all around the car, the hood, windshield. It's looking good. They're in the festive spirit.
See these same cars in the summer, you know it. I can tell. So here they come as they sail by us. 3 vehicles are in this. Now a huge pickup with the back end opened up. Kids riding in back, and in the background you can hear the Flint Hills Harley Owners Group. We'll let you listen to that.
Enjoy the parade because they get out and ride their bike before it gets too snowy out.
You know what I've learned over the years, when they're going by, just let them go by. We don't even talk. They're regular as well in our annual Christmas parade in the Junction City community. Kevin, I'll let you identify these.
Well,
we're trying to pick them up as they come by us pretty rapidly. Junction City First United Methodist Church. They have a big birthday cake on theirs, and they got chefs dressed in white hats, candles lighting the cake. The 20th annual parade. Happy birthday, Jesus, from the First United Methodist Church.
Got a bunch of chefs on that one.
That's pretty cool.
It is.
I like that.
J.C. Aglow House. There's a J.C. Aglow Lighthouse, I should say, passing by with their banner.
Seen a lot of minivans. They got green and red, kind of a reddish light up on the top and over the front of their vehicles. It comes down 6th Street, and that's a requirement. If you're going to be in the parade, you got to decorate a little bit for Christmas.
You got to have the Christmas lights and everything else. It just fits in with the festive spirit.
Just repeating some of the award winners. The County Commission Award went to J.C. Naz. The Youth Award to Girl Scout Service Unit 706. The Founders Award to Knee High Daycare. The Chambers Award to Town and Country, and the Mayor's Award this year to the Hampton Inn, Kevin. And we've seen some pretty impressive entries already.
We surely have. Here's the Second Missionary Baptist Church. Dr. Leonard F. Gray, the pastor.
They were a busy place this morning. They hosted breakfast for some needy kids here in Junction City. The police department sponsored that event. Then with money donated to the police department, they took those kids out and helped them Christmas shop at Walmart. And every kid got at least $100, and I can guarantee you some got a little more help than that.
The things that these organizations do for the kids of Junction City and Geary County are just spectacular. They really do get into the Christmas spirit.
It's called Shop with a Cop with the Junction City Police Officers Association. That's one of the good deeds they do in our community, and that was this morning. More vehicles going by. I think we're seeing our first Christmas tree, real tree, here in the parade on the back of a float.
Pulled by a nice old Ford pickup truck.
Emmanuel Lutheran Church is sponsoring this entry.
Looks like they got some tinsel and some popcorn on that tree, too.
We got a few folks on there wearing 1800s era clothing, too.
Yeah.
Parade's moving along at a pretty good clip.
It really is. I mean, for 45 entries, we're not too far from the end almost.
Well, Santa Claus will be at the end, and you will know when he gets here.
Oh, yes, and all the children will know as well.
You know, Mike Ryan was on a little bit earlier. He said there are some kids in town that think he's Santa Claus' cousin.
Well, it's a good possibility. I think they might be around the same age.
Clarabelle's Dance Studio is coming, and you know, those kids have gone from the start all the way downtown walking, dancing. They're going to be tired folks when they get home tonight.
And their parents are thinking they're going to sleep well tonight.
And they're not upset with that, are they?
Not one bit.
Clarabelle's, I can remember them back in the very first parade. I wasn't broadcasting that. I was watching, but they've been here a regular staple all the way through.
And you see them in other parades as well. I know they're in Sundown Salute.
Here come the homemade gingerbread dancers. We've got a flatbed truck with a huge sign posted on it, decorated in Christmas lighting, and following that, you can hear music, and we've got kids dancing and performing for the very large crowd that is located here in downtown Junction City.
And once again, they are also with Clarabelle's Dance Studio as well, so these are some more Clarabelle dancers. They had a large group this year.
They have different age groups. We saw the younger ones go first. Now we're seeing some of the older girls.
Yes.
They're dressed in red and whites, many of them holding candy canes as they hop and spin and twirl their way down the street. A few dressed in a white garb with a tiara.
They've got a gingerbread man in a blow-up, looks like hot cocoa cup mug with some marshmallows.
A lot of folks have been very creative.
They have been. I'm wondering where they got that now.
You're listening to the 20th Annual Junction City Christmas Parade. You're also having a chance to view it on Eagle Community Television. We'll tell you the parade sponsored by Central National Bank, Coriel Insurers, Screen Machine Sports, City Cycle Sales, Munson Prime, Danker Roofing, Feldkamps Junction City, Manhattan Area Technical College, Dick Edwards Auto Plaza, and the Hampton Inn. We do thank you for the support for this year's Christmas parade. Church of the Nazarene now coming by. They've got a cross lit up on the front. And it looks like they got little kids sitting and kind of listening to a Sunday school teacher.
And they were the County Commission Award winners this year.
Churches are really involved in the Christmas parade.
They all are. We got a number of them here in Junction City that get involved each year.
We're seeing our first tractor pulling a float with the theme, of course, Homemade Christmas. That's what they're talking about this year. This is powered by 4-H. Coming by, tractor's pulling a trailer with a Christmas tree filled with kids.
Lions Creek Club.
Got at least 3 4-H clubs that are entered this year.
I've seen quite a few.
It's your first parade that you've really broadcast. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's not like a sports broadcast, that's for sure. But it's fun either way. You get to see all the different floats, and you really get to understand what they're doing. So it's a lot of fun.
Here come the entries. 3rd down 5, 3 to go for 1st and 10. Are you more comfortable now?
That's a possibility.
All right, another float. A lot of kids enjoy being in the Christmas parade, and the adults watch them as well. We're trying to pick up as many of the entries as we can as they
It's like that one's Gray Star Management.
as they come by. A lot of people love to light up their cars with lights. Have you noticed?
They do, and the one thing that goes through my mind is, how are they getting all this power? Some of them have generators in the back of the truck. Some have the converters that can plug into the cars. So either way, they have enough power to power all those lights.
Here comes the Rusted Knuckles Car Club pulling an entry with, looks like a snowman, Frosty the Snowman on one side, a Santa Claus, a little kind of a dog dressed up to make like a Santa Claus. It's one of those blow-up events. And kids being pulled in a trailer by a pickup.
Followed by a couple of Trans Ams, it looks like, and Camaros.
I got to drive a Trans Am one weekend when I was 22, and that was fun.
And
on a long trip.
was it a successful trip?
It was.
Good.
My roommate let me use his Trans Am.
That was nice of him.
Yeah, it was. That was back in the day when they were the hot car.
The hot car.
Got some others going by here now. Looks like maybe a Camaro.
One of the newer Camaros passing by.
Yep. Some people fix their vehicles up and keep them forever, too.
They sure do. We've got a 68 Mustang somewhere in the family.
You just don't know where it is.
My parents haven't divulged that information yet.
A lot of vehicles sailing by. Some read Merry Christmas. Written right on the side of a pickup. Somebody just used kind of an ink type pen. You can erase it a little bit later. Got a little green car going through, and I don't know if he got lost in traffic or what.
It's a possibility. It's not necessarily fitting in between those two trucks.
It's not lit up, so I'm guessing somebody took a wrong turn at 6th and Eisenhower.
A lot of American flags we see as well.
A few cars being revved up. Got some more entries working their way down the street. Just a short gap. Haven't had any real long ones. That's good for a parade.
That's excellent for a parade. I know you were involved with one not too long ago that got a little bit of a mile-long gap.
Looks like they're pulling a little house on the next entry.
Might be a gingerbread house.
I think so. I think you're right. You know your Christmas, don't you?
A little bit. I've had 25 of them, so I've gotten to know a little bit of them.
The area clogged with people standing out into the street here at 6th and Eisenhower, just across from the Bartell. Just enough room for the entries to make their way as they sail by.
Our Mayor's Award just going by.
Hampton Inn is involved in this year's parade in a big way, one of the award winners. They're coming by now with their white van. Hampton Inn, of course, one of our parade sponsors, located on South Washington. Do want to tell you that Central National Bank, Coriel Insurers, Screen Machine Sports, City Cycle Sales, and Munson Prime are bringing you tonight's parade broadcast, along with Danker Roofing, Feldkamps, Junction City, Manhattan Area Technical College, Dick Edwards Auto Plaza, and as we said, the Hampton Inn. Fort Riley has an entry now working its way down the street. Saw the banner.
Oh, this back of this truck has some stockings hanging on it with a Santa in the back.
That's your Christmas stocking.
How'd they get that?
If we ever do that at KJCK, I've got one.
Do you?
Yeah.
We
The
might
Green Bay Packer Christmas stocking.
Well, that's not allowed.
It's a cool one.
Oh, I don't know if we can permit that.
Got more kids performing and dancing and turning cartwheels, walking down, and they probably got to be a little bit tired by the time they get down here.
You know, if they've done cartwheels the entire 6th Street, and there's 3, 4, 5, she keeps going. She'd be dizzy by now, I'd imagine.
Kids can do that. We can't.
I don't even want to try. Here's the Geary County Senior Center in their bus.
Like I said earlier, good to see the seniors have a chance to participate in this.
They really enjoy getting out and being able to see everybody and see the different light displays. And
Geary County Senior Center, 238-4015 on the side of the bus. Now a red modern pickup pulling a Frosty the Snowman, complete with a carrot nose, lit up in blue.
Junction City Wrestling Club.
they're doing some good things, and that's starting to show up at the higher levels at the high school. Some of their recent good high school teams started down there with those folks.
It all starts young, and that's the one good thing about the wrestling program in Junction City. They are able to get the young kids out, and they get a lot of support from this community.
Many of the young folks are walking now. We're getting the teenage kids walking down the street, and I don't think we're too far away from Santa Claus. He'll be here in a short time, a little gap in the parade, and I would say we're probably at least 3/4 of the way through, probably.
Well, according to my sheet, we are well over 3/4 of the way. We just got a few left.
Santa Claus always arrives, and they kind of pull him in a sleigh-type wagon, a carriage, and he'll get out, and we'll have a ceremony here on stage in Heritage Park. Mark Edgar will MC that, the founder of the parade, KJCK general manager, and Santa Claus will say a few things. They'll flip the switch on the lights, and everything will light up, and then it's a mad rush for kids to get to the Santa house and get in line. Santa Claus will sit there, they'll open the doors, and you'll have an opportunity to meet and hear all of those Christmas wish lists, and some of them are absolutely humorous to listen to. Hilarious.
They definitely are. Of course, we draw people from all over for this parade. And Milford Park and Rec came down for the parade this year. Milford's Homemade Christmas, there's something it says.
White pickup with gold tinsel and garland, then a white Christmas tree completely covered in white. Kids riding in the middle of the trailer around a red border. They've made it look like a Christmas sleigh.
Hopefully they don't have to ride all the way back to Milford in that.
No, it'd be cold.
A little bit.
That's took a lot of time to build that, though.
It sure did.
There have been some serious efforts. Another vehicle pulling yet another trailer. A travel-long type trailer. You carry farm equipment on that.
Dressed up as presents.
Kids wearing boxes with Santa hats, white tinsel, lit up in the red, green, blue lights. Followed by another large float entry, a flatbed truck.
Here's the Clarks Creek 4-H Club.
Some of the 4-H entries have really been good.
They get very creative.
Working their way down 6th Street. Now we get our first balloon of the parade this year.
You always have to have one.
Yeah, literally a balloon lit up in the back of a pickup with white angels on either side. This is Hewitt Tax Service. Something new. They have the homemade Christmas theme, of course, this year, as does everyone in the 20th annual Junction City Area Chamber of Commerce Christmas Parade. Seeing a little house, a Santa house with 2 snowmen outside, lit up in red, white, and blue. Our next entry passing us by.
Founders Award entry winner.
I would say this parade stacks up with some of the other very good parades we've had in recent years. Comparing, I think it's done very well. The weather is really cooperating. That wind we had all day is completely gone.
It really is, and it's not just because we're shaded by some of these trees. So the wind is gone. I see a flag over there that is not blowing at all.
More vehicles, more cars. Camaros, Mustangs have been in the parade. Trans Am. Getting some more of those passing us by. You can enter the parade, you just have to put some lights on your car.
Oh, I can throw a couple of lights on, and dude, we can take your car down the parade next year.
There was that one green car I'm convinced took a wrong turn. But seeing some of the law enforcement lights coming down the street, so we know Santa Claus is getting close. The street sweepers, that's a Junction City parade tradition. Right at the end, they'll clean the street up and follow the parade, and Santa Claus should be here in a short time. Now, we've got some horses entered in this year's parade.
We got a couple. We have the Junction City Saddle Club is here. Also, the Junction City Saddle Club entered some horses.
I'm counting, looks like about 10, and here comes Santa Claus in a driven carriage. Got his own special chauffeur. Mark Edgar is getting up here on stage. And Santa Claus will park right here in front of Heritage Park. And this is the time when the kids, after they get all their candy, are now the most excited. Santa Claus will go down to 6th and Washington's, what they're planning. This parade actually turns and goes up North Washington just a short distance, and Santa Claus will be brought back to the park, and everyone will begin to gather around the stand, the stage here in Heritage Park. So Mark Edgar We'll be talking in just a short time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go. We'll get a microphone on Mark here in just a minute.
We're going to do the ceremony and turn on the lights here in just a little bit. We'll have a chance for all the kids to meet with Santa Claus as soon as Santa Claus makes his way back from 8th and Washington. So hang in there. Santa Claus is on his way.
Santa Claus will be here very shortly, and we'll bring you his comments. Of course, he'll talk to the crowd. Mark will introduce him, and then they will have a countdown. Usually they start at 10. They count it down to 1, and we'll try to pick that up with our microphones and bring you that as part of the parade broadcast tonight.
Yeah, now this is the part where I might get nervous. Everybody starts turning around and looking at us.
That's okay.
That's all right.
I do want to say that they do not have a red-nosed horse.
They do not.
But you still have time to work on that.
Santa Claus now just beginning to arrive, and we'll be picking up Mark Edgar here in just a few moments as he welcomes Santa Claus to the stage.
Looks like Santa getting ready to get out. He's excited. I know he's excited to see all these kids.
Got his big Christmas, I guess you call it staff or pole with him.
Chance to meet him after the lighting ceremony.
You'll have a chance, all the young kids, parents, if you're listening, you want to do that. He'll be here in the park for quite a while at the Santa House, listening to all the Christmas wishes of all the kids. Santa slowly climbing out of his carriage. And as soon as he's up here on stage, we'll join all the festivities on our broadcast. You're also watching on Eagle Community Television. We want to thank them for their attendance. Our broadcast brought to you by Central National Bank, Coriel Insurers, Screen Machine Sports, City Cycle Sales, Munson Prime, Danker Roofing, Feldkamps, Junction City, and Manhattan Area Technical College. Our broadcast about 1 hour and 5 minutes old. It's been a good broadcast, and Santa Claus already stopping out in the street, being greeted by a bevy of kids as he works his way up to the stage. Here's Mark Edgar.
All right, Santa Claus is making his way up here this evening. Before we bring Santa Claus up, you know, when we have an event like this, there are a couple of things that have to happen. First of all, you have to have a politician. So that's kind of an unwritten rule. So I'd like to introduce to you this evening, first of all, the mayor of Junction City, Mick Mcallister. Come on up, Mayor Mcallister. Yes, that was Mayor Mcallister in that nice-looking Corvette. All right.
I was a very good boy.
All right, here you go, Mayor. Words for your community.
Oh, okay. Let me get around here. First of all, I'd like to thank you for being here. What a great night to have this. What a great crowd that we had. The kids were just incredible. Up and down the street. Had a great time. I hope you all have a great time. Santa Claus is going to take all your wishes, and I've been a good boy. At least I think I'm on the good list. You need to be on the good list as well. Thanks for being here. Go Junction City, and yay Santa Claus.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Yes, you were at the top of the list. There was a couple of your commissioners who were a little concerned about, your fellow commissioners, but we'll work on that. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is how special Junction City is. Last week, when we had bad weather and we had ice and rain and a mess and we had to postpone this event, I got on the phone to the North Pole and I said, Santa, would you please rearrange your schedule? Could you make it here if we rescheduled the parade? Santa says, I'll be there. I'll make that happen. Santa Claus did that. Ladies and gentlemen, Santa Claus. You get 2 microphones.
Oh, one for last week, and one for this week. I am glad that the mayor told me that he was on the good list. Is there anyone else wanting to tell me they're on the good list? Raise your hand. Leave them up. All right, I have, okay, you can take them down. This is the truth Truth-ometer. Truth-ometer, were they telling the truth? Truth-ometer, were they telling the truth? They were telling the truth. The truth-ometer. They were telling the truth. At least one of them were telling the truth. We'll use the truth-ometer to turn the lights on in the park. If the lights come on in the park, the ones who were not telling the truth will have their names moved over to the good list. Let's give those a hand of applause. All right, that's great. Last year when I was here, I told you that I enjoy coming to Junction City because Junction City has some of the best boys and girls in the world right here. The trouble that I have being at the back of the parade is I don't get to see the front of the parade. But I know it's a great, wonderful parade. And I know that the boys and girls and the moms and dads and the uncles and aunts and the grandmas and grandpas do a wonderful job in putting on this parade, and I would like for you to give all of those kids and mothers and dads and parents and grandparents a real clap of applause for doing it. And I have something very special this year in my stocking for Junction City. I call it my foot. What, was that funny? Yes, I thought so. Well, let's light those trees.
All right, thank you very much, Santa. Now, I will tell you, Santa, that if you want to see the parade, it will be on later on jcpost.com. Just telling you, next week, you'll be able to see yourself.
All right.
So, do you get that up in this North Pole?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll try to see if we can work on that. All right. Brand new lights this year. Like we said, the lighted wreaths is 4.5-foot wreaths on every light pole throughout the park this year, donated by people in your community, individuals, stores, businesses, made that all happen on their own. This was not money from Junction City or anywhere else. We'd like to thank all those people that donated, and you can see their names on the poles for donating money to get the wreaths lit up. Now, let's get the lights started, all right? And then we'll let you meet with the folks over here at the Santa's house. So if you come over here and join the mayor.
I will.
And I'm going to need your help because we're going to count this down from 10, all right? And then we'll turn these lights on. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And there we go. All right. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming out. Santa's going to meet with kids in Santa's house here. Got your Christmas wish list ready. Get that ready for Santa Claus. Thank you all for coming out this evening, and Merry Christmas, everyone.
That was Mark Ediger, KJCK General Manager, accompanied by Santa Claus, bringing it to you live in the Junction City Area Chamber of Commerce Christmas Parade, also on Eagle Community Television and sponsored by KJCK 1420, Power Hits 97.5, and Q Country 103.5. Santa Claus will now make his way to the Santa house, directly to the left to the main stage here in Heritage Park. Kids can line up and have all the time they need to give him their Christmas wishes. Kevin Griffith now rejoins me, and pretty good turnout here for this ceremony.
Great turnout. I'd estimate 300, 400 plus for this parade. And watching Santa flip the switch, a lot of kids out here cheering and laughing at some of his jokes and having a good time. They're, of course, ready to give their Christmas wishes to Santa.
Of course, Santa Claus arriving, and you just saw a big circle form around this stage, didn't you?
Sure did. Like I said, about 300-400 people, I would say, almost.
All right, so the people will line up to meet Santa Claus, and our parade broadcast will come to an end here tonight. We can thank you, of course, for watching. We'll be having it posted again, as Mark said. You'll be able to view that next week in a follow-up as well, courtesy of Eagle Community Television. It will be on JC Post. Kevin, final thoughts?
Great events. Glad we waited a week, and glad so many people still turned out. Looking forward to another year next year.
20th Annual Christmas Parade. It was a success in Junction City. Thank you for listening and viewing. We appreciate you. Thank you very much, and good night, everyone.
The 20th Annual Junction City Area Chamber of Commerce Christmas Parade is brought to you in part by Screen Machine Sports, Munson's Prime, Manhattan Christian College, Feldkamp's Junction City, Hampton Inn, Dick Edwards Auto Plaza, Danker Roofing, Coriel Insurers, City Cycle Sales, Central National Bank.